information source with Bob Johnson and Mary Ellen Locher.
You're looking live at what has happened today. It started happening just past midnight last night, and it continues to happen, but just barely.
Good evening and welcome to First News.
We have a dominant topic in this edition.
What could it be?
We all know what that is. To borrow a phrase used today by the Associated Press, it is as intimidating as Rambo. A powerful winter storm has rambled across the area, bringing with it snow, sleet, and cold. The precipitation started falling about 12:30 a.m., kept falling, and well, you get the general picture if you've looked outside. Some parts of the viewing area are reporting as much as 12 inches on the ground. There have been many cancellations due to the weather situation. We'll run down that list very shortly.
And if that weren't enough, there is now the threat of deteriorating conditions, or should we say further deteriorating conditions.
It's true. We'll go to meteorologist Neil Pascal now for a quick weather update. Neil?
Bob, Mary Ellen, the good news is the majority of the precipitation is over with. Look at the satellite here, and you can see the heavy cloud cover. The tailing end of it is now over about Chattanooga. This is a real late satellite picture, and moving off to the east. So what is back here is only capable of real light drizzle, flurries, or whatever, so the majority of that is over with. But the problem is we're 26 degrees. We're not going to warm up tonight, and so this glaze that we've come up with here late today is going to stick around all night long and be around in the morning. So we'll talk about what's in store for us tomorrow as far as the weather's concerned, and see how much of this we can get out of, see how much we're going to warm up, that kind of thing. But once again, for this evening and for tonight, big problems just because of what has already happened. It's not going to get any better tonight, that's for sure. Bob, Mary Ellen?
All right, thanks, Neil. I said earlier today, and I think it'd be a good idea for those folks who have calendars up on the wall to circle this day, January 7th, 1988. Save that calendar, because this will be the day we look back on many years from now and say, I remember the snow of '88.
I talked to a man today who said he doesn't remember anything like this for 25 years.
I've never seen this much snow in my life.
Oof.
You're from the north. I'm from down there.
I've never seen it this bad outside. I've seen more snow, but never on the roads.
Okay. Well, it's true that years from now, people may remember vividly what they did on this day. One thing they didn't do, however, was to go to work in downtown Chattanooga.
Well, that's for sure. Mike Dunn has been visiting the area throughout the day, and he tells us the city's economic center has no pulse today. Mike?
Well, Mary Ellen, you folks were talking just a couple of seconds ago about years. Well, we talked to a patrolman who's walked the beat here in downtown Chattanooga for the last 20 years. He says he has never seen the city so deserted.
Downtown Chattanooga was an eerie sight. Visibility was limited to about a block and a half, and only a few hardy souls ventured out.
We're trying to keep mainly the entrances down Broad Street open, plus our two big entrances on the north and the south side.
It'll be a lot of work.
Yeah, it's getting ahead of us. We do the best we can.
What are you doing out here today?
Trying to clean up so people can get in the telephone bill, get safe, you know. So
You're going to stay open today?
Yeah, we'll be open.
Why are you here?
To pay a bill.
It's kind of snowing out.
I know. It's pretty too. That's the way I like it.
I personally like to visit snow. I don't like to live in snow or have to go to work in snow, but this is a nice snow. I decided to go on in. I had some things to do. I have the snow weather clothes and warm weather clothes, so I decided to wander on into work.
If you were hungry for an Egg McMuffin, you got no break this morning.
We're still here to serve the public. Somebody, TVA or whoever's downtown and around, you guys, come in for lunch.
And there was no USA today. But on the other hand, there was plenty of chivalry as one policeman flagged down another to give a stranded worker a lift.
And with downtown looking like a ghost town, one non-native took advantage of a very special opportunity.
I used to live in Massachusetts and had these in the closet and decided I'd dig them out and give a run for it.
Having fun today?
It's great, it's great. Oh, it's a good snow, and it's dry, too. It's really something very rare here in Chattanooga, and very nice. It's a fun snow to get out and fool around in, because it's not wet and damp and cold. It's dry and pretty.
On a more serious note, this was heavy traffic today.
People have been driving, sanely for the change, and most people staying at home has helped a lot.
So you've seen no accidents?
I've not received an accident call. I haven't heard any come in on the radio on our frequency.
Now, there's one thing that we have noticed in the last half hour that we've been here, and that is that there are a lot more cars on the road. And that makes us very concerned because we're afraid that people may think that with the snow stopping falling, that it may be okay to drive. And it's not. We've been underlining it all day long, and we're repeating once again, stay inside. It is not a good night or even a good day to be out. Bob, Mary Ellen?
One thing I've noticed, Mike, your Indiana Jones hat. You've worn it all day. It serves the purpose. Looks real good.
Thank you, Bob.
You old swashbuckler, you.
It's a winter hero.
Cold one.
All right, come on in from the cold in. Well, with snow and sleet and all this remarkably ridiculous and horrible weather to some folks, it's not to others. The kids have been having a good time.
Kids had a great time. My neighbors were playing basketball this morning. They couldn't bounce the ball, but they did throw.
We're glad the cross-country skiers have something to provide incentive for them today. However, as you well know, there have been many closings and many cancellations, and there are still plenty. So listen up very closely. We're going to have a test on these a little while later. Here we go. Here are the cancellations and closings as we know them. Tomorrow, the Chattanooga City schools will be closed, the Hamilton County schools, the Polk County schools, and the Grundy County schools will be closed in Tennessee. Also tomorrow, Franklin County, Tennessee, Bledsoe County, Sequatchie County, the Cleveland City schools, and the Bradley County, Tennessee schools.
More school closings, too. Franklin County schools, McMinn County schools, Sweetwater Valley Christian School, Sweetwater City, Grace Christian Academy. Whitfield County, Georgia, Dalton City schools, Murray County, and Gordon County schools all closed tomorrow.
Down in Alabama, you folks in DeKalb County, your schools are closed tomorrow, as well as the Fort Payne City schools, which is right in the middle of DeKalb County. Tomorrow also, Cromwell Baptist Church will be closed. Cromwell Deaf School will be closed tomorrow. The Center School will be closed, as will the Dade County, Georgia schools.
And more. Walker County schools will be closed. St. Peter's Episcopal schools will be closed. Cleveland State College, no classes tomorrow. And Chickamauga City schools all closed. Orange Grove Center will not be open tomorrow. Neither will Unity Christian School, Chickamauga City schools, and Independent Baptist.
Marion County, Tennessee, you'll not go to school tomorrow. The Bright School will be closed as well. You folks at McCauley will not be going to classes tomorrow. Neither will you folks at the Girls Preparatory School, where they have those new winter uniforms.
Won't be able to use them.
Nope. Fannin County, Georgia schools will be closed. St. Nicholas School closed. Monroe County, Tennessee, and Tennessee Wesleyan closed tomorrow.
Also, Dayton City Schools, Lutheran School is closed, and the Chattanooga Christian School is closed tomorrow. And Baylor admission test has been postponed until January 16th. So they have a few more days to study.
That's probably for the help, for the good of some folks.
Sure, that's what they're doing right now. They're out there studying.
Two of the hardest working people I know today have been those people who's kept their eyes and their ears and their minds tuned to all the weather charts and the graphs and the radar scopes, etc., etc. When we come back, our meteorologists, Neil Pascal and Bill Race, will have the latest on this winter event.
And later, a look at the emergency side of the story. Your boots on? Whoa, combat boots, Bob. Just what we needed.
Yeah. Bill Race is going to show us his in a minute. We've already shown them once today, but the old boots, they come in handy.
Wow, did you dig those out of your closet?
Yeah. They had dust all over them, too.
Now they have snow all over them.
That's true. Neil Pascal, where are you, guy? Hardest working man I know next to Bill Race and himself.
We forgot something.
What?
Where is my Ask Neil?
There's not one today. There is no question about what the question is today. Get this stuff out of here.
Good point. We need to do just that, Bob. What we want to do first is find out exactly what's happening outside here, the TV9 Weather Center. Let's check in with meteorologist Bill Race.
Neil, we're continuing to see some light drizzle, freezing drizzle, I would suppose, with temperatures still about 26 degrees or so. What's happened in the last several hours is with this freezing drizzle, the snow, the pack that we have about 8 inches downtown here, has caused some problems with just some ice freezing on top of this snow. Also, if you're walking, of course, with the snow around, the ice isn't really going to cause that much of a problem, but it has been falling pretty steadily here in downtown area, most areas, during the past few hours or so. Sleet and freezing rain has been the predominant weather feature in Chattanooga and most of the viewing area. And because the snow turned over to this liquid or freezing type of precipitation, that held down our accumulations. If it wasn't for that, we might have had another 4 or 5 inches of snow. So that's about the only thing that we could say good about the snowfall event. Now, we've had about 8 inches here, quite common across the state. Actually, in the state of Tennessee, Chattanooga was the highest in snowfall amounts across the state, with 10 inches of snow officially out at the airport. It's still cold out here, windy as it has been all day, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And conditions are not going to improve much, as Neil's going to tell you now, as Looks like it's going to stay cold and just about freezing or below the next couple of days. What about that, Neil?
Right, so, Bill, that means big problems right on through the morning. Look at what this storm has done to the south. It started up there in the Rockies, came across a swath, huge area of large snow, unusually a large storm, one of the worst of the century it's being described for as far as places like Tennessee is concerned. Places over there in Arkansas, some had 16 inches. Around our viewing area, 10 was common. A layer of ice across the central Gulf coastal states as far south as Savannah, Georgia. A little ice there even now. The storm now going off the Atlantic seaboard may turn up and get parts of New England. This will be one that we will remember for a long time. Let me show you this evening's map. Low pressure in the Gulf was one of the reasons, and that thing is scooting rapidly eastward. So you can see here, things are drying out behind it. Most of our stuff is over with, so we still find ourselves underneath the grips of this Arctic high pressure, which is not going to allow us to warm up real quickly. The satellite view shows the cloud cover here, but there's still some low cloudiness back here to the west. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to get much sun tomorrow. Therefore, melting will be slower. In addition, temperatures will struggle to reach the freezing mark or maybe a little better. We're watching a new storm up here in the northwest, which may slide down with the jet stream. So for tonight, 20s will be common. Tomorrow, we'll get up there into the low to mid 30s, but that's it. So maybe a little melting. And certainly the roads tomorrow will improve significantly. More details on that will be in the offing here when we get up a little bit later on. Bob, Mary Ellen?
I guess the only good thing we can say is we didn't get the ice.
Yeah,
They did below us.
Luckily, not underneath. If you step through the ice, you get snow, and it holds your foot. You can't slide.
Good
that deep.
point. It's like a trap. You're trapped now, Chattanooga. Look out.
Well, Albert Stone, Mulberry Mountain today, this morning. We were talking on the phone. Yeah, he put his dachshund dog out in the backyard today. His dachshund's about 6 inches high.
Is that how he measured the snow?
It was deeper than the snow. He had to pull him back out. When he said, well, I got my wife to check it out there, and I sent her out to see how deep it was.
He didn't go out himself, though, I noticed. Good old Albert. Well, regardless of how bad the weather...
The latest on the weather outlook in just a moment.
First off, we want to run over some details for you about transportation, more specifically the roads in the area. Now, of course, as we've told you before, and when Neil will explain a little later on, much of the precipitation has subsided down to the point of maybe a few spitting snow flurries or rain maybe falling in the area at this point. And so the roads are the next question that we want to face. Primarily, will we be able to travel tonight? Will we be able to travel tomorrow morning? What's it going to be like? John Favoli is standing by up at the ridge cut right now with his view of the situation. John, what do you see up there?
Bob, as you said, it is pretty calm right now. Not a whole lot of anything falling except maybe a little bit of sleet. It's been a horrible day for driving or anything else outdoors for that matter, unless you were planning on building a snowman or taking a sleigh ride somewhere. We're at the Pancake Man restaurant where we've been throughout much of the day overlooking Interstate 24. You see some of those pictures there. That's what's been going on here throughout much of the day. A few vehicles right now at this time are using the freeway, but certainly not a whole lot of traffic. This is the way that it looked earlier today. Cars and trucks inching their way forward toward Missionary Ridge. Many pulled off the road, and when they discovered that they couldn't navigate the slick roads. All the work crews, you see them there helping matters out. Also, we have an updated list of some of the road closings for you. If we can take a look at those right now. That's what are those? I-24 at Interstate 124 right here at this split where we're at. Also Missionary Ridge, I-24 and I-75. There you have them. Highway 27, Highway 153, Amnicola Highway at Highway 153, Ox Highway, the W Road, Wilcox Tunnel, Roberts Gap, the 700 block of Cherokee Boulevard, all ridge and mountain roads, and Ashland Terrace. Those roads are considered dangerous and should be avoided. Joining us now is Don Allen, the Director of Emergency Management for Hamilton County. Don, I think overall the snow plan has been a success. What's your assessment of the situation?
Well, we had a halfway decent day considering all this snow that we got. I think it worked simply because the people stayed home and they listened to you folks in the media, and we're real happy about that. Had everyone tried to get to work, it would have had nothing but chaos on our hands, but been real busy all day long.
That, of course, was the key. Any particular problems?
We're having problems right now with ambulances, trying to get ambulances to the scene and getting four-wheel drive vehicles, and that's caused a problem all day, and we anticipate that going on in tonight and tomorrow.
You expecting many more problems this evening when perhaps the roads ice up even more than they are right now?
Yes, we do, John. And if people don't have to be out for any particular reason, please stay at home. There's no need to be out and just look. It's very dangerous out here right now. We had a very bad time getting over here just a while ago.
That's the advice we've been passing along to everybody also. Good advice to heed. And as he said, probably a great night just to stay home, stay warm, drink a cup of coffee, and watch a little bit of television. Bob, Pam?
Sounds like a good idea, John. Thanks a lot. We have the man whose crews have been out working so hard for the duration of the night and the day. Public Works Commissioner Ron Littlefield joins us now. And first of all, on behalf of Chattanooga and the Chattanooga area, you guys have done an outstanding job today. Yours and the counties and the states as well have all done a wonderful job out there.
Yeah, actually, the city roads appear to be a little bit better than the interstates right now. So many of them are closed.
Well, our crews have done a masterful job. There's no question about that. And I owe them a vote of appreciation also. They came on at midnight last night. Some men have worked, and women have worked 15 hours. We've just sent the original crews home and brought in replacements. We'll be working through the night and through tomorrow and probably through Saturday as well.
Ron, one question about today's snowfall, which is an inordinate amount of snowfall for the Chattanooga area. We haven't had this much in 100 years, like 10 inches out there. We were certainly prepared for a weather situation of this type, but were we prepared for this mass of snowfall?
Well, you can never be totally prepared for this mass of snowfall, and this is not the kind of snowfall we usually have in Chattanooga, as you say. We usually have a little ice on the roads, a little snow. We go and push it off with a grader, we put down salt and sand, and we're back in business. In this case, we have been putting salt and sand down since midnight of last night. It's layered in there on the roads, and we've been grading constantly. We hired other graders from contractors and their crews to go out and clear streets, so we've been working very hard just to push the snow off the street. If you go out there, the streets are still covered with snow, but there are large banks on both sides, so we're making progress.
Still a word to the wise, be careful if you have to be traveling at all, right?
Be careful, and don't plan to go out tomorrow either.
Just stay inside.
I think a lot of people think it's going to clear up overnight. It won't.
Ron, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank
Good
you
job for all
very
you
much.
people there. Thanks a
Try
lot.
to get warm.
Right.
Thank you, Ron. Well, it's not often that Level Field closes down for bad weather, but all the flights coming in and going have been canceled for the day out there. Our own Wendell Johnson is standing by live at the airport with an update on the latest condition. Wendell?
Bob, the terminal here is practically empty. You have a few workers here with the airlines. That's about it. However, the airport authority still has crews out on the runway trying to clean up the snow in an effort to resume flights tomorrow. 3 trucks and a grader did their best to keep the runways free of snow, but it was just too much to handle.
Early this morning, before any of the flights were scheduled to go out, determination was made that we were not able to plow fast enough to stay ahead of the snowfall, that it was accumulating faster than we could get it off, and it just was not safe to operate the flights.
Outside, the airline employees braved the cold weather to keep their planes free of ice and snow.
The freezing rain actually is probably harder to deal with than the snow itself, because the snow you can simply rake off, but the ice sticks on there and freezes, and it makes it a little bit harder to get off.
Inside the terminal, employees had it a little easier because many passengers called first before coming to the airport.
This morning, we had about a third of an aircraft full. It was booked, and only about 10 of them showed up. But you've always got to have somebody here.
Only a few people, like the McAllister family of Lafayette, Georgia, were stranded. They've been waiting since 4 in the morning to get a flight to California, but it's been canceled. Now they'll try to drive to Atlanta because James McAllister's father is being buried on Friday.
I don't know how long it'll take, but if we can get there, connect up with the flight that was supposed to leave here at 3:25, we'll still make her time to get out in California.
Meanwhile, the airport authority expects to have the runway cleaned up to get an American flight in around 9:15 tonight.
Well, we're not anticipating anything significant the rest of the night. Maybe a little light snow, some sleet or freezing rain, but the Weather Bureau tells us it should be light amounts, and we can deal with that.
Now, Bob, we do have a correction. That American airline flight has been canceled. There is no flight. But if all goes well and the crews can get the runway cleared away, well, the first flight should be Delta coming in tomorrow morning at 6:15. That's if there are no problems.
All right, thank you, Wendell. We appreciate that. Pam, I guess the question is, or one of the statements we could make is if patience is a virtue, it's also a necessity as far as
right
airline
now,
and any transportation
may as well be patient and enjoy it. Just sort of look outside and drink that hot chocolate.
Absolutely.
Well, the question, has the snowfall ended?
And Neil Pascal is in the Weather Center now with a quick update on that. Neil?
Well, one thing supporting the conclusion that the main part of the storm is getting out of here is the satellite picture showing most of the moisture now working east. Those same pictures that nicely showed us the storm coming in yesterday and allowed us to time it very nicely are moving it on out of here. Behind it, just a little light drizzle, light freezing rain. And I'll leave you with that. Don't be deceived by that. The roads could be even more treacherous because we're talking about a little liquid falling here and glazing. And that's very hard to drive on, even if it's not thick, just a little thin layer is all it takes. It is freezing out there, 26. We'll be back with more a little bit later. Bob, Pam?
Good enough. Well, for some, today was a day to relax by the fire or play in the snow, but for others, it was business as usual, or maybe we should say unusual. That's how it was.
Very unusual.
TV9 Action News reporter Bruce Moore is standing by right now to tell us how the ice-cold weather twisted daily routines. Bruce?
Day in and day out, workers around this region perform their jobs with numbing regularity, but then the Iceman cometh. Here's how some of the area workers cope.
Neither rain nor sleet nor gloom of night shall keep us from our appointed rounds. Isn't that how it goes?
He recites it with a laugh, but Wally Henry and his mail-carrying colleagues actually do take the postman's creed seriously. Henry's supervisor says even with the snow, 95% of the citizens will get their mail on this day. It's just too dangerous to deliver to the remaining 5%.
You try to prepare yourself. You know, you dig out your snow boots and stuff like that, and you just do the best you can.
The mail carriers may have the motto, but they're not the only ones who work by it. The snow kept police hopping.
All units that needs to go to General Tires, they are open at this time.
Chattanooga police doubled the number of telephone operators and dispatchers to handle the volume of calls. Mike Robbs was officer in charge as the morning snow settled on the city. He says the police are lucky the storm struck at night.
A lot of places have closed, and people are not at work and not having to get home. And so many people staying at home. It's not, traffic's not as bad as it could have been.
Rob says many of the calls to police were traffic related. One UPS driver said the parcel service turned some of its rigs around because they weren't getting too far.
You gonna have any tires left before the day's over? It don't look like it, does it?
The cold weather throughout the day prompted a steady craving for hot food at David's restaurant. That's where Julie McNeil spent her day.
It's better than sitting at home watching TV all day. This way you get out with the public and it's fun.
Yes, it has been fun. Most of the workers I spoke with said that they enjoyed this time. It was a little bit extra trouble, but they said the trouble was worth it because it broke up their routine. One thing that they do say is they hope it doesn't last too long. We'll see. Pam, Bob?
Yes, we all feel that way. How about you, Bruce? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I am kind of. I agree with those workers. It breaks up that day-to-day routine. But we'll see. Right now, the water's freezing on my paper, so it's not that much.
And you can get inside.
I think it's interesting, Bruce, that here in the shank of the evening, we're all waxing poetically. What's happening to us? I don't know.
Who knows, Bob?
But you need to get a hat.
That's right. Well, there were closings, weren't there? Closings. Just about everything was closed today, and there will be some things closed tomorrow.
Like a ghost town in parts of town.
Absolutely. We're going to run down the closings very rapidly for you, so listen up closely and see if your school or your particular organization is going to be closed tomorrow. The first up, Chattanooga City School, Catusa County Schools.
So you get to stay home too. Is the worst over? That's what everyone wants to know. Looks like
it. I sure hope so. It sure looks like it. It'll be a much better day tomorrow, though it'll be very treacherous tonight, and especially in the morning. This is amazing. I just noticed something here now. We announced earlier May Moody has won the first snow contest. She lives in Hickson, and we'll get her award and so on. 4 or 5 weather watchers, all were the next closest people. We're talking about thousands of guesses. Albertstone, Lois Estes, Greg Martin, and Ambatel all predicted today it would snow a month ago.
That means watching the weather every day sort of helps you? No.
Who knows? Didn't help me a month ago anyway. I was off by about 3 days. Okay, let me show you what we're in for here. Current conditions, first of all. And we've got 26 and holding. I don't think it'll change much tonight. The wind chill factor at 10. Northeast wind 5 to 15. 100% humidity finally today. The barometer slowly falling from a very high reading early today. The storm totals from our weather watchers, who I cannot thank enough, and I sincerely mean this, show that it was a very uniform storm, about 10 inches around here locally, a little less way up north. Crossville much less, Nashville much less. We had the most snow in the state, and this rivals a snowstorm we had 61 years ago, and not to be exceeded though, or it was exceeded by one in 1886, December 6th, 7th, and through there, where we had 14 inches, 12 inches is our 24-hour total. You see here the storm getting on out of here, but moving across the area all day today as expected, dumping the heavy snow, and then at the end with some warm air trying to get up from the Gulf above us, that caused sleet and some freezing rain. Fortunately, not for long. The radar is showing that this stuff is slowly decreasing in intensity, as you can see, and moving out. But we're going to be in with a little light freezing rain, a light drizzle, a little sleet here for a while this evening before it completely clears out. But it should be gone tomorrow morning. It'll be cloudy. The storm on the east coast spreading snow into New England, so it'll really slapped much of the southern U.S. High pressure coming in, but it's a weak one. No additional cold air, but slow to warm up tomorrow. So we turn our attention to an area up here, which we're going to have to watch, and it looks like that could cause an impulse in the Gulf low Saturday morning. And then with temperatures still quite cool at that time, then we'll have to watch and see if this storm develops and heads in our direction. If it were to, it wouldn't nearly equal the one we just had today, but it could bring us some mixed precipitation on Saturday. Don't know yet. Not a prediction. This one's too hard to call. We're too tired. We'll look at it tomorrow and let you know. Actually, it's a little too far ahead anyway. Sunrise in the morning, cloudy, about 26 here. Very, very hazardous roads, no matter what they do with them tonight because of that little bit of ice we've got. Maybe a few flurries way up there in northeast Tennessee, as you can see, even to our south temperatures down around 28, 30. Birmingham right now 33. They're trying to warm up. Tomorrow afternoon will be slow to warm up. We should bust the freezing mark just barely and find ourselves with a little slow melting. The roads where they're traveled and worked on will improve dramatically during the mid-morning tomorrow, but some of them may take a long time, the secondary roads and so on. There'll be lots of snowy places, icy places, even tomorrow night, but getting better. Precipitation decreasing tonight with a light northerly wind. Temperatures fairly steady. Tomorrow I'm looking for warmer conditions only by a little bit. Cloudy with some breaks. The more breaks we get, the more sun. That would be great. Don't think we're going to see too much. Wind north 5 to 10. High about 34. Not that much colder really in the mountains. Here's the 5-day. Once again, Saturday is questionable. Could get something. We'll see. Look at this though. It's going to get cold again. And that is certainly a problem. A lot of this snow could be around for quite some time because it's just not going to warm up very much until about Tuesday.
Really, 34 tomorrow won't allow for much thawing at all.
It won't. And then back down tomorrow night to below freezing. So this is going to be around a while, it looks like.
And refreezing can cause more problems than the initial fall, really.
That's right. We'll have updates, by the way, this evening a couple of times. And then tomorrow morning, I understand we're going to have our continuing coverage beginning at, what, 6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
Okay.
We'll be.
So, be informed. Tonight at 11 on the Action News Update, we're going to show you how this storm system has ambushed the rest of Dixie, even leaving its mark on some beaches. And a Gallup poll shows whether public education programs about the deadly disease AIDS are working. And the federal government could be facing a severe shortage of skilled workers. We'll have these stories and more tonight at 11 on the Action News Update.
And finally tonight, we remind you again, we will be here throughout the evening and rise and shine tomorrow morning with the latest on this winter storm and its aftermath, what the traffic conditions are, the roads, etc., 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 and even the airport, which you're looking at right now live from Level Field. We're kind of late getting out. We apologize for the fact that we are dipping into Peter Jennings' time, but we thought the information was worthwhile, so we'll be joining ABC News in progress, and we'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock.
Good night. Stay warm.
Of snow fell in Oklahoma City last night.
This is the worst one we've ever had. I mean, it's deep.
The wide band of snow, ice, and rain then moved eastward from Oklahoma and Texas and stretched all the way to the Carolinas. For most of the southeast today, it was a day to be stuck, to be stranded, or to use a shovel. In Little Rock, Arkansas, the knee-deep snow closed businesses and schools, but left some Southerners a bit wide-eyed.
Really, I like snow, and I always enjoyed playing in it when I was a kid, but I never figured I'd be cleaning it off city streets.
For most people, going to work was a bad idea.
I'm going home, park my car, get out of this crap for the rest of the day, man.
It was also a bad day to be traveling. Ask the 4,000 passengers who spent the night at the Dallas airport when de-icing delays caused massive backups on the runway.
We spent the night sitting in the airplane, then we got off, and then we spent the rest of the night sleeping on a plane. It was torture.
It wasn't much better in Charlotte.
I was hoping to be in Augusta at 10:30.
Right now, I suspect it'll be tomorrow.
In Atlanta, the city never even opened for school or business, as people were warned to stay off the snow-filled streets. Tonight, a winter storm warning remains in effect for much of the South. Tomorrow, the forecast is for clear skies, but much colder temperatures. Rebecca Chase, ABC News, Atlanta.